Hey everyone, Karkishai here, welcome back to another video. Today I'm back, and today we are back with the series that ended off on November 1st of 2020, Zombies Replay. If you don't know how this series works, seeing as it hasn't done it in 2 months, basically how it works is we basically go through the maps in order and basically give our opinions on them. I bring a Zombies YouTuber every episode on each map, and in this case we have Phoenickles joining us, and last episode we had Master 6 and Killer J456 on Transit. And I know that I haven't done this episode in ages. This has been 2 months, but next time it will be Diarise, and I hope to just get it out quicker than last time. But I haven't given up on the series yet. We're going all the way to Cold War, bitches. But yeah, we have Phoenickles on today for NukeTown Zombies. So would you like to introduce yourself, Mr. Phoenickles?
Hey guys, I'm Phoenickles. I'm British, and yeah.
All right.
I also run that one Tim Out of Context account where you've probably seen it around. And another thing that you guys need to know about me is I'm British.
So in this case, how the series works is basically we go through the map, and I give the person, the Zombies YouTuber, questions on how they feel about this map and stuff. So first, personal experience on the map, what they don't necessarily like about it and such. And then every time they answer the question, I will then give my take on the question. And as you know, last time how it used to work, I usually give it to 30 minutes or take. 30 minutes for the whole video to play out. But this time there's no timer at all. I've then switched it to the point where we'll just go as long as it takes until the questions are finished. So yeah, are you ready, Mr. Phoenickles?
Bro, I've been ready since day, my G.
Alright, well, I'm starting up the game right now. As soon as we've loaded in, we will be talking about NukeTown Zombies. Just for future preference as well, if you guys are thinking if I'm going to do Black Ops 3 remasters, like Ascension, Shangri-La, and Moon, I'm not sure whether to do that yet. I am going to consider Black Ops 4 remakes, because remakes are different from remasters. Sure, they'll have old stuff in there from previous maps, but there will be new stuff in there, so I will be counting the Black Ops 4 remakes in there, and I will be doing non-Treyarch Zombies maps as well. And all of this was inspired by the man the Smith plays and Tim Hansen, so make sure to go check them out in the link in the description below. But now that we are in the map of NukeTown, I am now going to give you the first question, Mr. Phoenickles. So what was your first personal experience with NukeTown Zombies? How did you feel when playing NukeTown Zombies?
I feel like I'd say essentially I loaded it up, and I feel like I originally just had the I had the multiplayer idea in my head. So when I was playing it, I just thought of I'll just camp in one area, right? Because I just thought it'd be an ordinary map, because I played town before it, so I'd be it's just normal, it's normal, easy. And then as I got around to playing it, I realized this map is difficult. So it was really just on steroids, crack, cocaine, any drug you can think of that makes you trip, it was on it. So it was wild.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with this, because especially with the Black Ops 2 system, because if you lads don't know, Exo Zombies was the first map to introduce the 3-hit system before you got Juggernog. Before then, it was always a 2-hit down. And in NukeTown's case, NukeTown Zombies was always close quartered, and especially how the perks worked. Perks would drop in random order, depending on the round. You'll always get quick revive first, I think solo and co-op. I know for a fact it's always solo, but I'm not sure about co-op, because I'm big dumb. But you might not even get Juggernog until round 25, or even goddamn Pack Punch until round 30 for all we know. But yeah, that is a big pain. And my first personal experience with it, I was going in, like you said, thinking about, right, I already know this map. The simple changes is the fact that the atmosphere has changed and it's just got zombies in it, and maybe a few side Easter eggs as well, because there is the TV in that as well. But I wasn't sure of that for sure. All I know is I was a simple survival map, and I was like, you know what, let's play some NukeTown Zombies. And NukeTown, God's sake, it was difficult. First time playing it, it was difficult, and there's really not much to say about it, because goddamn, it went there. And honestly, that's why I like difficult maps, because difficult maps can make the player better if you've got a challenge, because NukeTown is good for training and just in general getting your zombie skill up if you ever want to be better at zombies when it comes to dodging and just getting better at training. So yeah, NukeTown done a lot of things when it came to first person experience.
I was gonna say, there's one thing about it that I really liked, and it was the fact that it was one of the first maps that taught you to try to survive. Maps prior to it, like Call of the Dead or Shangri-La, they weren't really maps that taught you. Yeah, don't get me wrong, they were hard maps, but They weren't maps that were trying to teach you and rewarded you with much. Like Ascension, that was just tits easy. Call of Dead and Shangri-La, they were pretty hard. Moon was pretty hard, and I guess it was rewarding doing the Easter egg. I will say that. But I feel like the one thing that was really unique about Nuketown is that they were really rewarding, and they were trying to teach you, because obviously, like back in the day, camping strats were the main strats, you know what I'm saying? And then over time, people started to learn about training, and I feel like Nuketown definitely really solidified that. In order to survive in the map, you need to train, because literally in every camping spot, there's a zombie spawn anywhere. So I feel like they solidified that you need to train, and you need to try your best to get to high rounds without jug. And I really like that, because it means that you have to rely purely on skill. And even for the bad players, it was obviously not the best hit for the bad players, because obviously they're not the best at zombies, so it's not the best introduction. Although for people that are slightly skilled, it does obviously improve their skill and stuff. Like they improve how they can train maneuvers, clutching things, and even just trying to maneuver without having jug or even quick revive, for example. Sometimes people do like challenges without getting any perks or whatever. You know, it is wild, and I like how they try to implement the factor that you have to do it all on your own. You can't just rely on a perk to try and save you. You have to wait. And back to the rewarding aspect, if you are able to survive far without being able to use a perk, they then reward you with that perk. So if you even get to round 25 without having to use jug, they'll reward you. They'll just be like, do you know what, you deserve jug, here you go. And then you get jug, and it's like a saving grace. You see it and you're just like, thank God. So I really like the reward factor and the training. It's kind of like Nuketown was the coach, and we didn't really notice it until time went on, and we realized it was just more so just a map to train people to get better, which I really enjoyed about it.
So the next question I have is the things I don't necessarily like about Nuketown Zombies.
There's not really much I dislike about it, to be honest. I guess maybe like just the fact that sometimes perks spawn randomly. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously I said before that I like the reward aspect, but obviously sometimes, say you just want to chill and you're just like, I haven't played Nuketown in a while, you slap on Nuketown, and then you're just like, where's my jug? I need my jug. And I guess if you've not been playing it after a while and you just want to chill and you're just like, Nuketown, I ain't played it in a while, it can induce a bit of rage in you. So I guess that's one thing I don't like about it. But I mean, overall, I won't really say it's an amazing map, but it definitely does have some ups and some downs. But and I would say that the one negative thing I can think is sometimes it's pretty rage inducing.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. If I had to say my necessarily dislikes, it would just be the part of shopping, but like Phoenickles said earlier, it does reward you in that aspect, which I do like. So, and again, boys, you got to keep in mind for the future, these questions in this episode, they might be really short, because again, Nuketown is basically just zombies. It's just got a different aspect to the map, different feel, and it's just got zombies in it. So these questions might be small answered for this episode, because Nuketown is a small map as well, and again, it has just got zombies in it. So just keep that in mind for the future of the episode. But again, the things I really just dislike again, and I find this a challenge, and I do like this aspect, like you did say earlier, is the fact that perks just drop at random. Apart from that, that's really it, to be honest. I do like how Nuketown is just such a simple map for getting good at training and stuff. Apart from that, that's really all I can say about the things I dislike about Nuketown. So yeah. But the next question is, what would you add or change to the map? So the map stays the same, but you add some things in, or you can change the map completely.
I mean, considering it was the launch map as well, because I feel like, I know in Black Ops 3 and yeah, so like Black Ops 3, they have like a launch map, like the one free launch map on one map on launch that you do have to pay for, and there's also that for BO2. Not sure about BO4. I think they just had 4 maps on launch. I don't know about, no, classified. That was it. That was it for classified. Yeah, because I mean, like the original point I was trying to make, anyways, like because it's a launch, there's not really many expectations. It's not really there to implement anything huge, like with the giant. it didn't really implement anything huge. Well, not anything like that was like drastically game changing either. I guess with Classified, there was the same with that. I mean, it did have the Winter's Howl, but it wasn't something that was drastically game changing throughout the whole game. It's weird, like, how you don't really think of this kind of stuff until you get asked about it, and that's when it really gets you going.
If there's nothing that you would change or add to the map, you can simply just say, there was nothing I would change.
I guess I would change the story arc of it. Like, I feel like it could have something a lot more interesting about it, like the why you're at NukeTown and all that stuff. I feel like it could have so much more story to it. Like, not only, I get it's just like a multiplayer map that they remastered and they wanted it as like a fan favorite, but I really feel like to make it fit in, they could have added so much better lore to it. Like, I mean, at some point you hear a transit bus, you hear radios of Rick Toffin on the moon and stuff, and obviously I think around 20 or 21 or 25, the zombies' eyes go blue. I really feel like they could have added so much more to that story of NukeTown, and just the fact that it's like a map that takes place at the same time as Moon, and obviously there's a bit more into it that's not major. I guess it was a bit lazy design, but I can understand it.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that. If anything, I'm gonna have to agree. The story in this would have been more interesting because one of BO4's problems, and the reason why I'm bringing up BO4 is because NukeTown Zombies specifically got remade in Black Ops 4 Alpha Omega. And Black Ops 4's problems was the fact that they did focus on storyline over gameplay, and that's why Black Ops 4's zombie storyline, whether that be Chaos or goddamn Ether, it was interesting. Just the gameplay was just not there. But all in all, the story in NukeTown Zombies, BO2 and NukeTown Zombies, I wish they would have just made it more interesting, because again, people would make videos on like secret Easter eggs when it came to the transit bus at the back and how there was the bunker and stuff. I definitely would agree with that, but the map as a whole, there would have been necessarily anything I'd change, honestly, because again, we have got NukeTown and we've seen the outside of the portion out there, if you see on screen right here. Apart from that, that's really it, to be honest. There's really nothing big or anything I'd change to the map to make it better, or however you feel about the map. It's just whatever to me, in my opinion. So yeah, there's really nothing much I'd change, but if we're talking about storyline, yeah, I definitely change something about the storyline to make it more interesting, in my opinion.
They could definitely add radioactivity. Like, the fact that there's radioactivity, they could have definitely added a lot more to that and been like, this is a huge minefield of 115, or just something along the lines, because I feel like the fact that it's just like what it is now, it's not really satisfying enough to an audience. And I get that it's not just there to satisfy, it's just there as like a little nod to multiplayer and stuff like that, but I just feel like they should have added a lot more to that potential radioactivity or the bombs falling and stuff. I just feel like that could have been improved a lot.
So the next question I have is, and this should be easy for you, what is the stuff that you like about NukeTown Zombies?
Again, I already answered this earlier, but it's the fact that they teach the player how to maneuver out of sticky situations, and it's rewarding that if you are able to get to a high round by relying on pure skill, they reward you with perks and stuff. And if anything, if you look on clips for NukeTown, majority of the time it's just like clutches. Like, one of the biggest maps for clutches and the most satisfying map for clutches as well is definitely NukeTown, because you get in some of the most sticky situations and you get out, and the first thing you do is you're like, you think to yourself like, how did you do that? And you start questioning like, how have I done that? Another, you just have like the biggest sigh of relief and you're just like, oh my god. So it's very like, it gets you in a sticky situation, but it's one of the most gratifying feelings when you actually get out of that situation, and that's what I really love about it.
I definitely do agree. Again, we did explain this at the start, but NukeTown does give you that feel of, if you want a hard zombies map or just something to get you better at zombies, whether it comes to training and just rewarding you and stuff, NukeTown Zombies is definitely that map, because if you're trying to get better at zombies, they do reward you in-game by giving you perks, pack punch and stuff, and in general you get better at zombies when it comes to skill for training and stuff, because in the area that I am right now with the ray gun, this is the area that you would train in for NukeTown Zombies just going around, or even the Raygun Mark II, because the Raygun Mark II got added in with Buried for Black Ops 2 Zombies. So yeah, all in all, I definitely do agree with Phoenickles' points there. It does reward you for getting better at zombies when it comes to training and such, so there's really nothing much I can say apart from the fact that NukeTown Zombies, what I do like about it is that the fact that it does get you better when it comes to training, and it does reward you for your skill at getting better at a map that is hard as NukeTown. So the next question I have is, well, there's really this question, and if you guys do know, I am adding in new questions this series goes on. But there will be some instances where I don't add these new questions depending on the map. So originally the next question was going to be, what do you think about the wonder weapon on this map? But as a whole, the only wonder weapon is the ray gun, and of course the Raygun Mark II. But there's no like official like wonder weapon dedicated to NukeTown Zombies. So just letting you all know there. But apart from that, that's it. So just going to say this right now, this is optional. You don't need to answer this question, just say whenever. But what do you think about, and I know we were talking about this earlier, but again, this is optional, just let me know if you don't want to answer or not, but what do you think about the storyline of this map?
Yeah, linking back to my past answer, I really feel that the storyline for this wasn't obviously the best. Again, like I did say, it wasn't mainly there for storyline, it was mainly there just like a little bonus map or whatever. I mean, yeah, there's not really much, I can't really complain, because that's not what the map's there for. It's not there for the biggest storyline. It was nice, it was pretty cool to see that it's happening at the same time as Moon and the zombies' eyes turn blue when Richtofen takes control, and I really like that effect. So I do like some part of the story. I do like it. It was nice, cool, but I just thought it could have been improved quite a bit. And I mean, it's not that I don't like the way that they've gone about it. I do like it, obviously, but again, I keep repeating myself. But it could always be better, and who knows? Maybe even if they just added like the littlest thing, it could have maybe changed the entire opinion and made the storyline so much better. But I mean, yeah, that's really about it for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. The storyline can be interesting within NukeTown, but again, keep in mind, boys, that NukeTown is a multiplayer map. It was originally a multiplayer map, and now it's considered a both multiplayer map and a zombies map. So for NukeTown Zombies and BO2, for it to first get introduced, there's really nothing all that much to say about NukeTown Zombies' storyline, because there's really not much storyline to go on with here. But apart from that, that's really it. And again, like Phoenickles said, we do find it that it's cool that, as you know, in Moon, this takes place while Moon is happening. Richtofen takes control of the zombies and makes their eyes blue, which I definitely do find is cool. So again, storyline can be interesting, but it's just there's really not all that much storyline to go around within NukeTown Zombies. Apart from that, if you are a bit of a storyline person going into the deep lore of NukeTown Zombies, especially when Alpha Omega is now released, there's your chance. But apart from that, that's really it. There's really nothing much to say about the storyline there. So we've got 2 questions left, Phoenickles. We have 2 questions left, seeing as there was 2 new questions that got added, but considering NukeTown is just a simple survival map, there's really not all much to say about those 2 questions. But the last 2 questions, and I'll say the first one here. This has already happened, but for all we know, it could happen again. It's happened many times for other maps, but would you be okay with NukeTown Zombies coming back as a remaster, where NukeTown Zombies as we know in BO2 would just come back as it is, just simple graphics change, and just maybe add in a dedicated wonder weapon, just dedicated to NukeTown? Or would you rather come back as a remake, like Alpha Omega, but maybe expand it a bit more, or just make it interesting to the point where people do like it or something?
I feel like to discuss it, I feel like you have to completely get rid of Alpha Omega. Like, I feel like even to think about having it as a remake, you have to completely forget that Alpha Omega is a thing. I feel like it could benefit as a remaster. It could definitely be a benefit as a remaster, like with a new engine and all that stuff. And do you know what? I think even bringing back that M27, oh man, that gun was so good. As a remaster, it could bring, obviously not much, but it could obviously improve graphics. It could improve that massive fucking mushroom cloud that there is, and the fire tornadoes and stuff. It could improve what they look like. I guess it could improve, obviously, weapon damage, add some more weapons in, even added its own dedicated wonder weapon, like you said, as well as if it was remade and it had like a whole new story. I feel like what they could have done is, I guess, the way they went with Alpha Omega, except instead of having like I feel like having like an underground bunker, because I mean, I'm pretty sure Alpha Omega was just mainly recycled from Blackout, to be honest. So I feel like if they remade it all on their own terms and it was a completely original concept, it would have been so much better. So I feel like if they remade it, it could have been so much better. Like, you couldn't, even the Easter egg, it's finally opened the bunker, or you have to find some stuff around the map, and what it is there as it is in Black Ops 2, they can expand it, not go underground or anything, have it wider, so there's like other houses and you open like a fence gate to go to another house and stuff, and you have to find pieces together and eventually open up that for that bunker. And who knows, maybe even release Martin to fit into that part of the story. Who knows, maybe it could be like the story of Victus or something, and the way that NukeTown fits in, it's rescuing Martin out of that bunker, and you know, maybe that could tie into like one kind of story. So like there can be one for Misty, for Stuhlinger, for Russman, and Martin, which obviously he's in that bunker. So I feel like it could most definitely benefit from a remaster, but personally I think if it was remade, not in the way it was in Alpha Omega, I feel like if it was completely different and it didn't have any underground thing, the Easter egg is to open the bunker, save Martin, and that would be that, and then the rest you just have to survive or whatever, and Martin's doing whatever he does, he's gone. I feel like that could have been a really cool story. So I think personally, definitely remake, not remaster, but a reimagine.
Yeah, when it comes to remakes or remasters, because if you guys don't me right now, I like every single Zombies map for what it is, whether that be a remake or a remaster or whatever the hell. Whatever it is, I'll play it. But in this case, we have already gone a remake of NukeTown Alpha Omega. I personally liked Alpha Omega when it came to the story, and even the gameplay, I didn't mind it. I thought it was just simple. It had a simple Easter egg, personally. Just everything was chill about it. And if we're talking about NukeTown Zombies, just the NukeTown Zombies from BO2, I wouldn't mind it to come back as a remaster. Now, reason being is because, one, Cold War's mechanics have been personally amazing to me, in my opinion. I love the movement that they have within Cold War Zombies as well. Like, you can basically go anywhere. Of course, you can't go outside the map, but like, you can go on top of like certain like bits that you thought you couldn't go up in previous games, but with Cold War, you can actually do that. Of course, like, you've got the whole generated map that you can't go outside of, but apart from that, that's it. And again, there were survival maps supposed to be coming into Black Ops Cold War, and NukeTown Zombies from Black Ops 2 is considered a survival map. So with Cold War's mechanics and just a simple survival map that is like NukeTown Zombies from Black Ops 2, I think it would be okay. I don't think they will add that due to the fact that they have Onslaught in there, but if anything, if they wanted to just bring back the classic Zombies mode, not the Onslaught Zombies mode, but the classic Zombies mode that we play as in D-Machine and stuff, that would be really interesting to see, in my opinion. But all in all, I don't think it will happen, but either way, whether that be a remake or a remaster, I'm fine with anything at the end of the day, so I can't really answer the question, but it would be interesting to see a remaster of the NukeTown Zombies from BO2 with updated graphics, the core mechanics and movement, and just how everything would work in general. I think that would be interesting to see, but I just don't think it would happen, in my opinion. So we've got the last question, Phoenickles. But the last question is, what is your rating out of 10 for NukeTown Zombies, and a reason why?
Oh damn, okay. Alright. So everybody in the comments, anyone who's watching, Revived, I know defo you're watching this, and you're most probably gonna shit on me for this. So before I enter this, fuck you, Revived, because I know you're gonna shit on me whatever I say. I feel like considering all of the factors that come into play, there's obviously the reward aspect, there's everything. I feel like it has to sit into an 8. I feel like no, a 9. A
9. Damn.
I don't think it's quite at the 10 mark because of the lack of story that they could have implemented. And obviously, like I said, it's not there to be a story map. It's there mainly as a bonus. But I feel like even if they just added a little bit more than what they did add, it would have still remained as a bonus map. But still, I definitely feel like it could have had a bit more to the map itself. Like, it gives more people incentive to play it. Of course, it is a survival map. You play it to some people to get better. For some people, it's to just have fun. And obviously, I feel like for other people that aren't more into gameplay, they're more into story, that could have attracted that part of the community to want to play it more. And it's like the fact that there's more story to it means that it attracts people of all kinds all kinds of the zombies community to that map a lot more, and it could have potentially made people appreciate the map more and not just think of it as a survival map. Like Town, for instance, obviously Transit was it was hated. I'm gonna let that slide, but again, it still had a bit of a story to it. Transit was just like a little side map of Transit. Did I say Transit was a side? Town was a side map of Transit, and so was Farm, and obviously Turned, which was at the diner. But I think that with NukeTown, there was no there was no town for NukeTown. There was no farm. NukeTown was just a map itself, and I feel like if they added more story to it, it could have been better. But moving on from the negative, I'd say the positive that makes it up to the 9 is the fact that it really motivates you to have to rely on skill, pure skill. If you can't get far, then what you do is you have to think of a strat, and you have to even progress. Like, you die early, you have to think, okay, what did I do wrong? How can I better myself? I need to keep going until I can get the jug machine. That's what I mean by rewards. You have something to work towards. It's not just die on round 10 without jugging. You gotta be like, okay, well, this is just a piece of shit. I'm not able to get my jug. What is this? No, you have to try and find the perfect strat to finally get your jug, and that jug is your saving grace. After that, you can go for other perks like speed caller, double tap, whatever it may be, even pack a punch. Your end goal might be, I want to try and get all the perks, and I want to at least pack a punch the gun that I have. I want to try and do as much as I can in the map, and that's what the reward aspect does. And not only that, you have to stay very skillful at trying to move away from the zombies. You have to keep maneuvering, and that's what I love about this map. It really helps you to, like, it keeps your brain going, and at the same time, not only are you training and trying to stay away from the zombies, you have to find the perfect chance to try and make sure that there's no zombies running from behind you, because again, there's no camping spots at all. Maybe there's one that's like maybe like on the little ledge on the house, maybe there's that, but I feel like all in all, zombies spawn from everywhere. There's nowhere that you can really camp, and you have to try and get a whole train, and you have to try and find the perfect spot to stand while you just absolutely laser into that train. And there's gonna be more spawn. You have to keep running and circling, and that's what I just love. It does get boring at some point, but I feel like it really helps you keep your brain going, and it makes you a more strategic player for those bigger, better maps like Origins or something. And I find NukeTown was a really good taster for what was to come future-wise, and for such maps like Origins or Mob of the Dead and stuff, you have to keep a good strat, and every time you die, you get to reflect on what you did wrong and how you can get a better strat in to get further on, and if it's for the other maps to complete an Easter egg. That's what that was like, and that's my piece. 9 out of 10.
Okay, damn, that was, holy fuck, that was interesting as hell. Okay, my opinion with NukeTown, again, like I said, I like every single Zombies map for what it is, and I respect NukeTown for what it's done when it comes to getting the certain player better when it comes to training, or again, like Phoenickles said, that end goal with getting all the perks, or just, there's a lot of shit that you can do on NukeTown, because again, like back when like BO2 to BO3, whatever, or roundabout IW, Black Ops 3 times, people would go for a high round attempt with no jug, or no pack punch challenge. A lot of people would do certain challenges on NukeTown Zombies, which I found really interesting, like Mad Lads 2 Pro for your games, or iFusion Z, Like, a lot of those lads I saw sometimes do NukeTown Zombies, and I honestly found that really interesting to hell. So honestly, if anything, cause it's a map that I would play often, but it is interesting to give yourself that certain challenge and just get yourself better at zombies, whether that be training or just a certain challenge that you want to do on maybe your Twitch or YouTube, whatever. It can be fun sometimes, but yet again, it does have that rage aspect. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's definitely over 5. It's definitely over 5. But if anything, I'm definitely probably going to have to give it a 6 out of 10. I like it and everything. There's nothing much I hate about the map. It's just simple survival. And again, I am mainly an Easter egg person. There's not really much Easter eggs to go around. And again, I'm not the type of person to go back to NukeTown Zombies all the time like I do with other maps, because again, I am an Easter egg person. The only time I'd probably go back to NukeTown Zombies is if like I'm either recording a video or stream, or one day I'm just like, you know what, I'm kind of in the mood for NukeTown Zombies right now. So,
What's the last time you played NukeTown other than recording this video or recording any video?
my
or
god,
streaming?
the last time I probably played NukeTown was probably, oh Jesus, it was definitely last year. I do remember playing it last year in the year 2020. Maybe June, maybe May, one of the two. I really can't remember the last time I played NukeTown Zombies, but all in all, again, don't hate NukeTown Zombies. I think it's a good survival map to get better at zombies. Definitely helped me and definitely a lot of other people, especially when it came to content creation as well, when it came to certain challenges, because everybody knew NukeTown Zombies was that challenge. So yeah, apart from that, NukeTown, simple map, don't hate it, love the map. It's just I am mainly an Easter egg person, and I just don't go back to NukeTown Zombies as much compared to the other map. But guys, that is the end of the video. That is all the questions answered for NukeTown Zombies. I want to thank you, Mr. Phoenickles, for joining me for today's episode of Zombies Replay.
Thank you for inviting me, my friend.
I will leave Phoenickles' link in the description below, so make sure to go check out the mad lad and of course his Twitter in the link in the description. Again, thank you, Phoenickles, for hopping on. The next episode we will is been doing diaries, which fucking hell, I don't know how that's going to work. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Next episode on Zombies Replay, episode 15, will be diaries. Hopefully I'll get it out and it won't be 2 months long for the next episode to come out. I promise I will get it back. Anyways, lads, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video live stream, boys. And goodbye.
Bye, boys.